Hey there, curious one. Welcome to Between the Frames. I'm your narrator, Mara Vale, part storyteller, part mystery enabler, part person who talks to herself in candlelight far too often. Here we dive into the strange, the eerie, the wait, is this real kind of stories that hide between dusty photo albums and forgotten journal pages. So cozy up, let the wind howl, and enjoy today's story, even if it wasn't meant to be remembered, because the most haunting stories are the ones hiding between the frames. Chapel Grove had one road in, one road out, a forgotten town cradled between the forest and the foothills, just a smudge on old Georgia maps. By the late 1970s, most of its 200 residents had either died off or moved away. But what happened there in the winter of 1979 would never be forgotten. The official record reads like a Southern Gothic novella. On December 12th, local deputies found the Wexler farmhouse burned to the foundation. Inside, they discovered 7 bodies, arranged in a circle around a half-melted iron tub. 6 of them were missing their eyes. The 7th, believed to be Agnes Wexler, the matriarch, had hers replaced with the eyes of a crow. The medical examiner's report noted that the avian eyes had been delicately sutured into Agnes's sockets post-mortem, a crude but strangely careful procedure. There were no signs of forced entry, no defensive wounds, no fingerprints, no surviving witnesses, just ash and crows. The Wexlers were reclusive, known for selling herbal tinctures and hand-stitched dolls at roadside markets. They were rumored to be descendants of Appalachian root workers, folk healers, spiritualists. Some said Agnes could speak to birds. Others said she fed them secrets. But no one believed the stories, not until the letters were found. 3 days after the fire, a local boy walking the woods behind the property stumbled across a tin box buried under a willow. Inside, 27 letters, all addressed to someone named Mr. Gallows. The letters were written in looping formal script, the kind you'd expect from a 19th century widow. But the ink was fresh, the paper modern. The earliest letter was dated April 7th, 1979. The last was written the day before the fire. Mr. Gallows, the crows have returned, just as you said. They circle the roof and cry in threes. I've prepared the basin. The children are listening better now. Every letter ended the same way, until the wings unfold. Investigators originally assumed the letters were the work of a disturbed mind, but then they found the bathing basin. Recovered from the center of the burned-out floor, untouched by the fire, it was filled with black feathers and bone. Not human bone, not exactly, avian in structure, but far too large. A special forensic unit from Atlanta took over the case. They brought in Dr. Malcolm Reinhardt, a criminal psychologist with experience in cult behavior and ritual homicide. After reading the letters and examining the remains, Reinhardt concluded, this was not a suicide. It was a contract. He later elaborated, calling the ritual transactional. The family had entered into an agreement. With whom or what, he wouldn't say. He resigned 2 months later. But the strangest detail came from a fireman named Calvin Briggs. He'd arrived first on the scene. While digging through the rubble, he discovered a single cassette tape, perfectly intact, in a ceramic dish beneath the hearth. It was labeled only with one word: repeat. On the tape, a woman's voice, soft, singing. The same phrase over and over.
Feather by feather, light to flame.
Then, a man's voice whispering numbers like coordinates and the sound of wings. But the tape became notorious for a different reason. Everyone who listened to it, all 7 investigators, began suffering from identical night terrors. Dreams of a tall figure in a wide-brimmed hat standing in a circle of birds, humming the same lullaby. One detective, Officer James Locke, was found 3 weeks later, sitting in the burned-out Wexler ruins, eyes gouged out. On the ground next to him, written in soot, until the wings unfold. The case was quietly buried. Chapel Grove was erased from most maps by the mid-1980s, either due to clerical oversight or intention, no one knows. But in recent years, hikers passing near the area have reported strange happenings. Dozens of crows gathering in precise geometric shapes, symbols in ash, children's voices in the woods repeating a tune no one taught them. And most recently, a new letter found on the porch of a ranger station miles away from the grove, addressed to Mr. Gallows. The basin is clean. The children are quiet now. We await your return until the wings unfold. No one knows who delivered it. No fingerprints, just a single crow feather tucked inside the envelope.